किया है, लेकिन क्या यह काफी होगा? तो सबसे पहले बात करेंगे इंटर मिनिस्ट्रियल प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की, अंतर मंत्रालयी प्रेस वार्ता, उसको ले चलेंगे आपको सीधे सबसे पहले लाइव।
I'm Rohit Raj, I'm Director in the Ministry of Civil Aviation, and I'm here to share a significant measure the Union Cabinet has taken to support and stabilize the ATF prices. The Union Cabinet has approved a one-time budgetary support mechanism of rupees up to 10,000 crores to provide ATF price stabilization support to scheduled Indian carriers. This decision has been taken in a larger public interest to protect air connectivity, ensure stability in air services, and shield passengers from the impact of extraordinary volatility in the global fuel prices arising out of the ongoing crisis. The approved mechanism is designed as a temporary, self-correcting arrangement. Under the scheme, the government will provide an interest-free advance to all marketing companies, enabling them to supply ATF to the participating Indian airlines at a predetermined and stable prices for both domestic and international operations. Whenever international ATF prices rises above the benchmark level, that is the fixed price, under this arrangement, the corpus will compensate OMCs, all marketing companies, for the difference. Importantly, when the fuel price moderates, the differential amount will be recovered from all marketing companies and returned to the Consolidated Fund of India through a transparent true-up mechanism. Thus, the arrangement is intended not as a subsidy, but a temporary stabilization measure to smoothen the impact of exceptional fuel price volatility while ensuring full accountability, monitoring, and recovery of fund. ATF constitute a major component of airline operating cost, and the sharp increase in the international fuel prices, coupled with longer flight path for Indian carriers on account of closure of Pakistan airspace, has placed significant pressure on airline operations. The approved mechanism will provide greater predictability in the fuel cost through a fixed price arrangement, enabling airlines to plan their operation in more efficient and continue serving passengers across domestic and international sectors. For passengers, the most important benefit of this decision is that it will help to moderate sudden increase in the airfare that often result from sharp spikes in fuel prices. By reducing the exposure of airlines to extreme fuel price fluctuations, the government aims to minimize the pass-through of such costs to traveler and provide a greater fare stability. This will particularly benefit families, students, business travelers, tourists, and citizens who depend on air transport for mobility and economic opportunities. The measure will also help maintain an uninterrupted connectivity across the country, including service to remote, regional, Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Continued connectivity is essential for regional development, tourism, trade, healthcare access, education, and investment. It will ensure that the citizens in all parts of country continue to have reliable access to the air transport services while supporting government's vision of inclusive growth and balanced regional development. The decision is expected to have positive effect across the wider economy by supporting employment in airlines, airports, ground handling services, maintenance and repair organization, tourism, hospitality, and logistics sectors. It will also help preserve India's domestic and international connectivity, strengthen integration with global market, and ensure optimal utilization of airport infrastructure developed across the country in last decade, including the airport operationalized during Udan scheme. The government remains committed to safeguarding the interest of passengers, maintaining affordable and reliable air services, and supporting a long-term growth and resilience of India's civil aviation sector during this period of global uncertainty. Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit. Now, updates from Petroleum Ministry. Sujata.
Namaskar. Despite the ongoing situation in West Asia, supplies of crude oil, LPG, natural gas remain stable, and adequate stocks of petrol, diesel, LPG are available in the country. Our refineries are operating at optimum level. As far as domestic cooking LPG gas is concerned, no dry out has been reported on the LPG distributorships. Around 99% of the bookings are now online, and 96% of the deliveries are through delivery authentication code. During the last 3 days, against the booking of 1.5 crore, the delivery, 1.43 crore cylinders were delivered. As far as the commercial LPG is concerned, during the last 3 days, 19,372 ton of commercial LPG has been sold, and 649 ton of auto LPG has been sold by the oil marketing companies. Regarding 5 kg FTL cylinders, during the last 3 days, more than 1.57 lakh of 5 kg cylinders were sold, and out of that 9,200 cylinders were sold in 520 camps conducted by oil marketing companies. The vigilance and enforcement action is continuing. With respect to LPG, in the last 3 days, more than 4 FIRs have been registered. Oil marketing companies have also issued show cause notice to almost 13 distributors, and penalties have been imposed on 6, and 2 distributors have been put under suspension. As far as petrol and diesel is concerned, in the last 3 days, more than 1,880 raids were conducted. 2,900 liters of petrol and 6,350 liters of diesel was seized. 18 FIRs were registered, 13 people were arrested across the country. OMCs also have issued show cause notice to 409 dealers. Penalties have been imposed on 19, and 457 dealers have been put under suspension. PNG connection since March 2026, about 8.82 lakh PNG connections have been gasified, and infrastructure has been created for additional 2.98 lakh connections, taking the total to 11.80 lakh connections. Further, about 8.98 lakh customers have been registered for the new connections. Till 3rd of June, more than 80,400 PNG consumers have surrendered their LPG connection. Since 1st June 26, about 1,030 ton of C3, C4 molecules and 320 ton of butyl acrylate has been sold by different refineries. And finally, I will request all the citizens to make all efforts, to conserve energy, and I want to assure all the people that the government is making all effort to ensure availability of petrol, diesel and LPG. So avoid panic purchase of petrol, diesel and LPG booking. Beware of rumors and rely on official source of correct information. Citizens are also requested to use alternate fuels like PNG, induction and electric cooktops. Bulk and industrial consumers are requested to procure diesel from authorized procurement channels. Thank you.
Thank you, Sujata. Now we'll take updates from MEA. Asimji.
Good afternoon. Ministry of External Affairs continues to closely monitor the developments in the Gulf and West Asia region. Our efforts are focused on ensuring the safety and welfare of the Indian community in the region. We are in constant touch with the state governments and union territories for sharing information and to coordinate our efforts. Our embassies and consulates across the region are on alert and are proactively assisting our community. They are operating round-the-clock helplines to provide timely assistance to Indian nationals. They are also in close touch with the local governments. Advisories are being issued, including information related to local government guidelines, flight and travel situation, consular services, and the various measures being undertaken for the community. Our missions are actively engaged with the resident Indian community. They are regularly interacting with the Indian community associations, organizations, professional groups, and Indian companies to address their concerns. Welfare of the Indian seafarers in the region is of high priority for us. Our missions are extending all assistance to them, including coordination with the local authorities and agencies, extending consular assistance, and assisting for requests to return to India. Status of flights. The overall flight situation continues to improve with additional flights operating from the region to various destinations in India. UAE airspace is open. India and UAE carriers are operating flights from UAE to various destinations in India. Flights are operating from various airports in Saudi Arabia and Oman to different destinations in India. Qatar airspace is partially open. Air India Express, Indigo, and Qatar Airways are operating flights from Qatar to various destinations in India. Kuwait airspace is open. Kuwait Airways and Jazeera Airways continue to operate flights from Kuwait to various destinations in India. Bahrain airspace is open. Air India Express, Indigo, and Gulf Air are operating flights from Bahrain to various destinations in India. Iraq airspace is open and limited flight operations to destinations in the region which can be used for onward travel to India. Iran airspace is partially open. We have advised Indian nationals to avoid traveling to Iran and urge those already there to leave with our embassy's support. So far, our embassy in Tehran has facilitated movement of 2,557 Indian nationals out of Iran through land border routes. Israel airspace is open and limited flight operations have resumed to destinations in the region which can be used for onward travel to India. A status update on the attack on Kuwait International Airport. Yesterday, in an attack on the Kuwait International Airport, an Indian national unfortunately lost his life. We express our deepest condolences to the family of the deceased. Our mission in Kuwait is in touch with the family and is coordinating closely with the local authorities. His mortal remains are expected to arrive in India tomorrow. 13 Indian nationals have also been injured in the attack and are currently undergoing treatment at various hospitals in Kuwait. Our mission is extending all assistance to the injured and is in close touch with the local authorities. Thank you.
Thank you, Asif ji. Now we'll take updates from Shipping Ministry. Over to you, Upesh ji.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, friends. Ministry of Port Shipping Waterways continues to coordinate with Ministry of External Affairs, Indian missions abroad, and maritime stakeholders to ensure seafarer welfare and uninterrupted maritime operations. All Indian seafarers in the region are safe, and no incident involving Indian seafarer on any Indian flag vessel or foreign flag vessel has been reported in past 72 hours. The Directorate General Shipping Control Room has handled more than 11,600 calls and more than 25,800 emails since activation. In the last 72 hours, a total of 444 calls and 1,034 emails have been received from seafarers, their families, and maritime stakeholders. The Ministry, through the Directorate General of Shipping, has facilitated the safe repatriation of more than 3,474 Indian seafarers so far, including 28 in the last 72 hours from various locations across the Gulf region. Port operations across the India remain normal with no congestion reported. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll take questions for the first row, 238, 4, 127, 208, 187.
Yeah, thank you. Amar Zadi from PTA. Couple of questions. First to Rohit sir. What is the benchmark that has been decided which will trigger this the emergency response mechanism, the stabilization fund? Is it because we have heard different numbers. Yesterday, the minister said 76 rupees per litre. The OMC prices are at 104 rupees per litre. There was also one number mentioned about 142 rupees per litre. So a bit of clarity on that. And when is this mechanism going to kick in? When is it starting? This month, next month? Or some clarity on that. To Sujata ma'am, you mentioned about the enforcement actions. In past 3 months, how many agencies, both LPG as well as petroleum dealership, do you have a number of how many have been suspended, how many actions have been taken, consolidated one, to the shipping ministry? What is the status of our ships that are stuck in west of Hormuz? Can you give us an update on that?
Sukal from the Indian Express. First question is for Rohit sir. So just wanted to understand the press release issued yesterday after the stabilization fund was announced, mentioned that airlines will have to sign an MOU with the OMCs. So just wanted clarity as to whether the airline will have to sign the MOU jointly with the 3 OMCs, or will it be like, say Air India signing it exclusively with Indian Oil, or will it be Air India signing it with all 3, depending on which one is available at which airport? Is that going to be the case? Also, because of state taxes, ATF is priced differently at different airports across the country. So this benchmark price, the fixed price that will be a part of this system, I believe it should be exclusive of state taxes, right? Just wanted a clarification on that. And also, since the scheme was announced yesterday and there have been no announcements yet from the airlines or from the OMCs about these MOUs that need to be signed, could you give us a sense as to whether all the Indian domestic carriers have expressed interest in participating in this fund? One question for Sujata ma'am. Ma'am, yesterday the Information and Broadcasting Minister in the cabinet briefing mentioned that this ATF price stabilization fund is going to be a prospective fund, will be implemented prospectively, and does not cover the under recoveries the OMCs have been bearing so far on ATF sales. So just wanted to understand if there is any other mechanism under consideration by the government or being pushed by your ministry to help the OMCs cover their losses on ATF so far. Thank you.
Hello. Hi, ma'am. I'm Ritu from Argus Media. My first question is to Rohit sir. At what frequency the benchmark prices would change? And another question is to Upesh sir. There is a LPG carrier around Yanbu port, which is called Nanda Devi. It has been wandering for a very long time, and there were some reports last week of some missile attack or something. Can you give a clarification by when it will start moving towards India?
Yeah, first row here.
Yeah, hi, Sapna here from CNBC. I want to ask the Ministry of Civil Aviation, basically, what is the timeline for the, over here, sir. What is the timeline for the rollout of this fund? And yesterday we were given to understand by the INB Minister that this is the Economic Stabilization Fund that had been announced by the FM at the budget, 1 lakh crore corpus, the financing is going to happen from there. So, the timeline and the financing part of it. And you also said it's a temporary arrangement. So, as a lot of my colleagues have asked, this benchmark price that you have decided. So, yesterday we were told that 75.6 bucks a liter of ATF. So, is that what it is right now, or this is going to be dynamic, depending on how the prices move? Thank you.
Hi, sir. Danish Anand from NETV Profit. My question is for Rohit, sir. So we have seen that after the West Asia crisis began, the airlines also started levying fuel surcharge. So after the comfort that the central government is offering to the airlines, will there be any kind of directions in the future from the ministry that they should take the fuel surcharge back?
Hi, Sesha from NDTV Profit. Ma'am, my question is to Sujata ma'am. On the LPG side, what is the current under recovery looking like? Also, are there any other measures being taken to kind of reduce the demand supply gap between, if we compare it on a month-on-month basis?
Good afternoon, Saptaparna Ghosh from The Hindu. Question to Sujata ma'am. PPAC's provisional data for May indicates that there has been a 19% fall in consumption in May from the previous year. Despite the supply controls and everything, I mean, in place, could we get some perspective on, I mean, how LPG? If you could get some perspective on that. And also with respect to diesel, ma'am, the growth has been less than 1% from the previous year, some 0.95, 0.98. Considering, I mean, there is demand from industries as well, and we are into, I mean, the onset of the agricultural season. How would you actually read this growth, I mean, which is less than 1%? Is it something, I mean, that could be concerning? If you could get some perspective on that. And, I mean, a couple of questions to Asim, sir. The other day, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State of the United States, I mean, testifying before the Congress, I mean, he made some comments about sanctions, the fact that they would want the, the waivers, I beg your pardon, the waivers, they would want them to be lifted, I mean, as soon as they can potentially. Considering India has already made this stance clear that, I mean, this is something that distorts markets. So, I mean, how are we reading the Secretary of State's comments on that? And also, sir, about the Venezuelan president is in India right now. So in that realm, I mean, are we going to speak to them for expanding, I mean, our presence in their market? The fact that, I mean, we could tap more into their crude, and also our upstream companies, that is ONGC and Oil India, have had their dividends stuck, I mean, in Venezuela for some time. What can we expect on that front, sir? If you could please get some perspective. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Anil Handa. Ma'am. I'm Anil Handa. Question to Sujata ma'am. Ma'am, on ethanol, no discussions or information have been received by the Ministry as requested, but the two vehicles launches have happened yesterday for two-wheelers and today for a car. That is from E20 to E100. So Wagoner car from Maruti would be at E85, and the scooters will be running accordingly with the technology. So this is like the development of the technology on the vehicle sector, or the government is coordinating on with the minister was also saying something on the diesel front also. That's things are happening. So the government is following up with the technology of the vehicles, or the ethanol technology has been advanced and it will be catering to the technology of the vehicle manufacturers. How is it? How do I understand
that? Hi, this is Shalini Sharma from PSU Watch. My first question is for Rohit sir. Sir, the fixed ATF price mentioned in the stabilization mechanism, is it the same as what airlines are currently paying per kiloliter of jet fuel? And second question is for Sujata ma'am. How frequently can we expect the benchmark price to be revised? Will it be part of the annual review system? How will it be reviewed? The benchmark price mentioned, the fuel stabilization support mechanism, benchmark price.
Okay, we'll begin with Rohit. Are you with answers?
Yeah, good afternoon. So the first question about benchmark, which I'll address, and several journalists have asked this question. So there were a few numbers which were floated yesterday. One was 60.5, one was 76.62, another was 104, and 142. So 60.5 was the price of ATF, base price of ATF in the month of March, 1st March 2026. The prices of ATF was 60.5. Since all the West Asia crisis happened after 28th of March, 28th of February, the whole April was pretty volatile for the ATF prices. And the ATF prices were increased in April and May. And when the prices were published on 1st May, it was 142. So that was the price which is a IPP, International Parity Price, which is published by MOPAG and MOPNG both. So that was the ATF price without any capping. But in the meantime, what government has done to facilitate air services and to make the air services continued, we put a cap on ATF from the March base price, and the increase was limited only to 25%. So if you apply 25% to the March base price, which was 60.5, the 76.52, 75.62 figures comes in. And on this, you apply excise and VAT at Delhi. The Delhi selling price at that point of time was 104. So this price of 104 was because of capping. Now, under the new mechanism, the capping won't be prevalent, but we are moving towards a fixed price mechanism. That fixed price mechanism is being fixed at FOB level, where we are excluding certain charges and taxes, particularly VAT, excise, airport charges, and a fixed differential, which is basically domestic freight and insurance and profit margin of OMC. So after that, we arrive at a price under the scheme. For domestic operation, it is fixed at 86.32. And for international operation, it is fixed at 104.49. So for domestic operation, if we take an example of Delhi, for domestic operation, when we add airport charges, fixed differential, it comes to 96.83. And over and above, when we add VAT and central excise, it will be 150. So selling price under this arrangement at Delhi would be rupees 115 per liter, 115. Similarly, for international operation, the FOB price, which is fixed across India, that would be 104.49. Over and above, you have to apply airport charges and fixed differential, and you arrive at 115. And there is no VAT and central excise on international operations of airlines when they procure ATF. So, in essence, if we take Delhi as an example, 115 is the fixed selling price at Delhi for both domestic and international. That's correct. That's correct. So this, I think, clarifies the question regarding the benchmark. The next question which was asked was regarding MOUs, where the query was regarding whether airlines have to do a combined MOU with OMCs or they can do it separately, because at each airport, different OMCs are supplying ATF to them. So this is up to their commercial arrangement. They can do it a combined MOU or separate MOU. So it's a commercial arrangement. Ministry of Civil Aviation will not interfere in that. So that's the choice airline has. That under this scheme, only willing airlines are allowed. If somebody is not willing to avail the scheme, that is also available, means the scheme is optional. Then the third is whether the benchmark price is exclusive of VAT or not. Because every state has different VAT. Delhi has reduced it recently to 7%. Chennai has about 29%. Kolkata has about 20%. Maharashtra again 7%. Karnataka 15%. So every state in India has different VAT structure and different VAT rates applied to ATF fuels. So what we are fixing it at FOB level, as I explained during my explanation of benchmark price, where there is no incidence of VAT and central excise. We are fixing it that level. Then you have to apply central excise and VAT to come to a level which would be available under this scheme. Let's say if we take an example of Mumbai, the prices of ATF under this arrangement, the selling price would be around 114.5. And if you go to Chennai, because again there the VAT rates are pretty high, it is around 139. 139. So around 139 for Chennai. So you just have to apply 20% and then arrive at that figure. Third, I was asked whether the benchmark price was dynamic or not. So this benchmark price is fixed. As I have conveyed during my opening statement, that this is a temporary one-time arrangement, means there is no possibility of changing of benchmark in future. So as soon as the fund is operationalized, OMCs are reimbursed their losses, and once the prices stabilize, the OMC will pay back the fund to the Consolidated Fund of India. And once truing up happens, this whole scheme will end, and there won't be any extension of this scheme. That's why this whole arrangement is a temporary, one-time measure, and there are no nothing in that scheme which allows us to revise the prices, benchmark prices. Yes, this is for 3 years, or when the truing up of the fund happens, whichever is earlier. Yes. Yes, yes. So, yeah, so first we are working on the modalities. We have all the modalities which are there, but we are working with the modalities, and we are also informed airlines about this scheme, and they have to come up with their interest, because this is a voluntary scheme. This is not a compulsory scheme where every airline has to come and join. So it is up to the airlines to show their interest, and after that we can take it forward from there. So it would be operational pretty soon. I cannot commit on a timeline right now, but it would be operational very soon, depending upon the willingness of the airlines and willingness of the airlines and OMCs. So. So that's when I was explaining the benchmarking, this 75.6 also I've explained, because 75.6, no, it's not a benchmark. 75.62 is the prevailing price right now, which was artificially capped by the government to shield the aviation sector. So because it was not sustainable, the prices and the revision has to go up. So now the new benchmark is 115. I have told you that FOB would be 86.32. Yes.
Thank you, Rohit. Asim ji.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. On the questions which you just asked, there is a separate presser going on Venezuela. I would recommend that you follow that. Just going on there.
Thank you. Upesh ji, some answers from you.
Thank you, ma'am. So on the status of ships on west of Strait of Hormuz, as I said, all Indian flagships are safe, and all Indian seafarers on foreign flagships are also safe, and there is no incident which has been reported. And the control room at DG Shipping is fully functional and remains in touch with our seafarers. In terms of LPG vessel Nanda Devi, as per my input, there is no attack on this vessel, and
so the first one was regarding the LPG and the steps taken to reduce the demand-supply gap. The other one was on the under-recovery. And regarding this, we have taken a couple of steps, and we have been, telling you in all the previous press conferences also. So one of the most important steps that has been taken, apart from tying up the import, is the domestic stepping up of the LPG production. अगर मैं कल का भी आपको डाटा दूं तो लगभग 54 TMT of LPG was evacuated from different sources within the country. और जो रिडक्शन की आप बात कह रहे हैं, देयर हैज़ बीन अ रिडक्शन, क्योंकि हमारा जो कमर्शियल और इंडस्ट्रियल LPG है उसके अंदर जो आई मीन दैट इज़ द रीज़न फॉर दैट रिडक्शन. एंड अदर देन दैट जो बुकिंग पीरियड जो मैनेज किया गया है, आई मीन 25 days and 45 days. एंड द थर्ड रीज़न इज़ द DAC linked deliveries. So these are the main reasons. As far as the under recovery on LPG domestic cooking cylinder is concerned, it is still in the range of almost 700 rupees. और इसके अलावा HSD के ऊपर आपने एक सवाल कहा कि HSD की ग्रोथ को लेकर. So I have the figures. It is close to 1% in May. और इसमें there is an impact of Sunday, which was the last day. So that has also affected this growth, and which will come this month anyway. इसके अलावा I will also like to inform that PSU oil marketing companies have registered a healthy growth of 6.2% in sales, leading to 4.57% increase in the PSU market share. So the third one was ethanol. Ethanol के लिए मैं यही कहूँगी कि यहाँ पर वी नीड एन इकोसिस्टम. तो गाड़ी भी चाहिए और गाड़ी में डालने के लिए फ्यूल भी चाहिए. एंड आवर ऑयल मार्केटिंग कंपनीज विल मेक ऑल एफर्ट्स टू सप्लाई द रिक्वायर्ड फ्यूल. The one other question was regarding the under recoveries on ATF. So I'm sure our oil marketing companies will take up the issue with the competent authorities. Consolidated number of LPG distributors, of the inspections or rate, that number I'm not having right now. We'll share that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, friends. You have a supplementary? Okay.
पहले भी discussed that is the government thinking on revising the ethanol percentage and so on and so forth. But in between that the vehicle launches have happened and 2 union ministers were present there. So I would like to understand which way I would be understanding things, that the technology has been supported by the government or encouraged by the government to use that mix of ethanol from E20 upwards, or the E20 onwards technology is available which would facilitate the movement of the vehicle in whatever which way, two-wheelers and cars. Because ICE technology is just a submission. The ICE technology is not changing anywhere in the world. And ethanol worldwide usage is different from what we are using. So the curiosity is in between. Like, what is the priority of the government at present for the now?
So you already know that now E20 is the base fuel, right? And BIS has also issued one more standard for E25. So, that is only a standard. After that, lot of steps have to happen. Our OMC also have to be ready for giving that fuel. The stakeholder consultations are also required to be done, which are already undergoing. Lekin flex fuel is different from that. फ्लेक्स फ्यूल का मतलब है कि वो डिफरेंट परसेंटेज में इथेनॉल और जो पेट्रोल है वो ब्लेंड करके वो गाड़ी यूज़ कर सकती है. सो दीज आर टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स. वी शुड नॉट कंफ्यूज विद फ्लेक्स फ्यूल एज द बेस फ्यूल. I think that MHI will be the right one to answer this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you, officers. Thank you all.